PSG. When I utter that anagram, people usually think about Paris Saint-Germain. Of course, based in Paris, they are a French football/soccer team, however you look at it, that are the most recent winners of the European Champions League. And surprisingly, they also lost in the Club World Cup. But that is not what I'm talking about today. I am going on about panty and stocking with Garterbelt. Produced by Gainax and directed by Hiroyuki Imaishi, it aired from October 1st, 2010 to December 24th, Christmas Eve 2010, interestingly enough. Right, at this point of the video, I just want to iterate that I don't want to go through everything in each of the episodes. I don't even think I'm going to touch on all of them, mainly for the fact that I want all of you in the audience to watch it if you haven't, or if you did, maybe watch it again, as I just want to fawn over panty and stocking, as well as have new people experience it for the first time. And of course, since the second season's out, I felt like it'll just be better if you just watch it. Just trust me on this. Especially in English dub. The voice actors absolutely did lovely for the English dub, I must say. I'm just gonna put this here. There will be spoilers for the series in general. It's not gonna be deep spoilers, but I just want to talk about each thing within the episode. So yeah, if you do get spoiled, sorry, but that I did warn you. Starting off proper, we get, of course, the intro to Panty and Stocking. Lively music, I absolutely love the music. And we get to see, of course, a little bit of Panty and Stocking, especially what's going on inside their brains. And after that, we get title cards. You don't really see title cards in anime. Hell, I don't even think you see them at all, even back then. But where you do see them is in Western cartoons. Not in all of them, but something like SpongeBob or Danny Phantom. It's just one of those influences that is carried over from the West. And I don't know if I said it before, but if I didn't, this show has a lot of influences from the West. Apparently Drawn Together is one of the inspirations for the crude humor. Getting back to the title cards, I will say as well, I like the art of it, and I like the art direction in general for this whole series. My god, they can be very creative at times, but let's tone it back a bit and head towards the first seconds of the first episode. Starting off, we get an overview shot of this city that mainly PSG takes place in, Datan City. It's like any generic city, big, stinky, has a lot of sin. What can I say? Big shitty shit. But we also see these two interesting towers that look like demonic horns or wings. Yes, very ominous, but we will leave that aside for now. We also do see some entity attacking the citizenry. Those are ghosts. Ghosts come in any shape, any size, but they are always, for the most part, evil. There are some exceptions that we do come across in the show, but for the most part, they're the big bad, they're the common enemy, they're the Goombas of this world. These ghosts essentially play the Monster of the Week type spiel. It works, though of course it's a trope. I do like how different each ghost is, I'll just say that. But back to the intro, we're almost done. We do also see a badass shot of Panty and Stocking on the rooftops as silhouettes, pretty menacing as well. Then we go to the church, where we get introduced to the main characters, that being the Anarchy sisters, of course, Panty Anarchy, who is sleeping with a man, kind of tells you what her sin was, as well as Stocking. You don't really see her sin right away, but she does whip out a cake before she gets introduced, so of course her sin is gluttony. And then you have Reverend Garterbelt. He is essentially the caretaker of Panty and Stocking, as well as the mission briefer, one can say, a colonel to those two big bosses, briefing the angels about the big bad ghost to defeat for that particular episode. That or the angels just dick around and then they find trouble anyways, or somehow get into said trouble, and defeat the ghost anyways in the end. It can be a little chaotic, a little disorderly, but that's the Anarchy sisters. It's in their name. It's not always cut and dry, like a certain set of other sisters that you will get introduced to around in the middle of the series, or first season I should say. Talking about the Anarchy sisters, I must say, I just absolutely love every single interaction between these two.
朝立ちの男ってのもおつなもんよ。
ほんとあんたって何でもいいのね。
すごいのよ。朝から3回転半ひねり。
そんなことより糖分が欲しい。
It's like whenever I do anal, great in theory, but so not worth the pain.
Too much information.
It'd be different if I was having some fun, but these ghosts are lame. Lame-o! Fuck cake, we need ketchup or mustard or hot sauce or even jizz to jazz this shit up. If I don't carb up, I'm gonna pass the fuck out, am I right?
Oh yeah, definitely sleepy town.
あれやっぱ欲しかったの？
いらないったらいらないわよ。
ストッキン。
何？
もしかしてダイエット？
違うわよ。なんで私がダイエット？ありえないでしょ。
キラ。
It's as if I'm witnessing two high school girls bickering, bitching about random problems in their life, or even about how they feel about each other. Except it's not that annoying for some reason. Maybe it's because it's fake, maybe because it's funny, or maybe it's for the fact that the arguments themselves don't last too long, at least in one setting. Sure, they might bicker, the sisters might bicker for the majority of the episode, but it doesn't last too long, like I said, in one setting. It gets broken up, whether by action, be a ghost trying to kill them on the spot there, or just other characters, maybe like Garterbelt or Brief, stepping in to remind them of their mission, or at least concentrate on whatever they have to do. Stuff like that. I love them both. That doesn't mean I don't have favorites. Honestly, I do prefer Panty over Stocking. I don't know why. When it comes to characters having different outfits, to me, it just seems more realistic. I don't know why, but hey, that's one of the reasons I do like Panty. For example, you see Panty with a red dress in Excretion Without Honor. Also, that same red dress comes back in Panty and Stocking Homecoming, as well as Bitch Girls for Life. In the second part of the first episode, that being Death Race 2010, Panty's wearing a red tube top with a blue and white varsity jacket and a jean skirt. There's also the school uniform, as seen as in Turmoil of the Beehive and Le Diabolique. Though I think the outfit that I like the most is in One Angry Ghost, where she's wearing red blazer jacket and a red pleated skirt. I guess kind of a mix of casual and business-like, I guess. But god damn it, overall, she's sexy. I just fucking love it. Apart from her diverse fashion sense, I really do like her, I guess, personality, character. I mean, sure, she's a nympho, hypersexual. She is also a gambler, adrenaline junkie.
Test us. Nothing would make me happier than to destroy your mingy rodent boyfriend here.
Yeah, like I give a shit. Do whatever you want with that turd pie. Maybe he'll distract you. Make it easier for us to stomp your sunburned asses.
Absolutely big flaws, but I think it's very interesting to her character. I'll just leave us here as well. If you know about the last episode of the first season, I'm pretty sure if given the opportunity, she definitely would give away her immortality just to live human life, experience it as said human, actually age, you know, maybe care a bit more about life. At least that's what I personally interpreted in the season 1 finale. Also, I do like the Angel's transformation. Panty and Stocking, they just look lovely, but I'll just talk about it later. Speaking of stalking, don't get me wrong, I do like her. I do like her episodes, especially the cake one where she gets fat. Big funny. Even with that out of the way, I just find that stalking is a little bit more reserved. Not to say that she isn't brash like her sister, it's just stalking is the one that I guess is more refined, more reserved, level-headed in a sense. Hell, even the way she speaks.
Oh, please. I don't mind some junk in the trunk if I can eat what I want. Going without sweets is like going without sex. Not that you would have any idea what that's all about. Don't even think about it, child. I wonder if that's what Garter was trying to say about girls before he got cut off. That has to be it. I bet there's a big bad wolf attacking poor frightened girls. Where is this jack-off, sweetie?
It just feels more elegant, more refined. I'm pretty sure what I mean is if I were to talk to either one of the girls, and whether I'm in a mall doing customer service or just, I don't know, contacting them for some reason, Panty will just be a brash cunt, and Stocking will be, could probably be a brass cunt if I was a brass bastard to her, but she comes off as at least nice. Panty probably won't be nice, at least at first. I still love you, Panty. In all honesty, if I delude myself enough, I can think of her as James May.
Look, putting aside Jeremy's ideas of pimp my stovepipe hat, driving down the A40 just after you the other day, and the headline was quite brief. It said, Clarkson has massive accident. Oh no, how am I going to do it without them?
Probably a better comparison would be Jekka from Class of 9 mixed with James May, but I'm just being pedantic now. Yes, I know it's a weird comparison, but all I'll just say is I just don't find Stocking to be all that funny alone. But of course, when they're together, it's an absolute orchestra of damn good singers. And thankfully, that's most of the time.
What the hell are you calling Fleshy? I gave up fat like 10 ghosts ago! And what in Christ's name is wrong with being an angel? Oh, like you're so much better than us? Hi, our daddy's the mirror and we're full of shit! Yeah, what she said! If you want to roll a skull, let's do this shit right!
Now, I also do like the fact that, of course, she is, I guess, an old girl or a goth. Yeah, it's a point that everyone reiterates, and I'll reiterate it myself. Lolita dress, pretty nice. Also her hair, cool colors, looks like Twilight Sparkle. What I will say, however, is that I do prefer the server outfit that Stocking wore in the casino episode over the Lolita outfit. I think it's just because of the ponytail, but ayo, I do like it over said Lolita dress. Other than that, I think the only other thing I like about her, it ties back to the dialogue, but her freakouts. I like when she snaps. Now, if she doesn't snap and she has enough sugar, I feel like if she was a real person, out of those two sisters, she would be the best one to hang around with. I mean, hell, I know she's a gamer too. Other than that, there isn't really anything else that I really like about Stocking. I know there are two other points one can say. The fact that she has big knockers, and the fact that she's freaky, specifically into bondage. I don't really care about those points all that much, but I will address it. Point 1, I'm an ass man, not a boob man. Point 2, even if Stocking is into bondage, I'm pretty sure Panty will be more freaky, mainly for the fact that her sin that got her kicked out of heaven is lust. Casting that aside, the Anarchy sisters, I absolutely love them both. I just love Panty more than Stocking. With those bitch ass sisters out the way, I guess I'll talk about Garterbelt. I don't really have much to say about him. I do like how he talks and reigns in the Angels. I also do like the fact that he's the freaky priest. However, all that, of course, pales in comparison to his own particular episode. Once Upon a Garterbelt, it should be the first part of the 11th episode, but it's essentially an origin story for Garterbelt, and I liked it. But the ending, of course, I shouldn't be surprised, but it's freaky. On that note, I guess I'll move on to Chuck. Honestly, I just like him for the fact that he's just an airheaded dog, toy, whatever he is, amalgamation that is airheaded, drools a lot, likes to steal food, or at least he tries. For the most part, he just gets beat up and just gets splatted, just like the good pet he is. And with that is all the new characters for at least episode 1. There's no new characters within the second part of episode 1. Episode 2 introduces Brief. He's awkward, nerdy, I guess even shy, but when he's alone, his perverted self shines through. Moreover, in episode 2, when he lays his eyes upon Panty for the first time, he absolutely basically has a hard-on for her. I don't really see any other ways to describe him other than stacked in more than one way. Now on to the baddies. Now from episodes 1 through 5 in season 1, you only see ghosts as the main antagonists, but by episode 6, you get to meet 4 new characters: the Demon Sisters, Scanty and Kneesocks, the Big Bad Boss, Corset, and the Demon Sisters' pet, Fastener. Back to the sisters, of course, I do have my favorites. Kneesocks over Scanty, no matter what, man. Yes, I know that Kneesocks is the demonic counterpart to Stocking. And yet, interestingly enough, both the Demon Sisters are actually not really brash, but more reserved, more posh, more proper, one can say. Of course, once you get to episode 6, you learn about these things about Demon Sisters, especially about the fact that they have rules to uphold and they like to follow them. And this isn't just about school rules, they have their own ethos, I guess you can say, their own unwritten rule book. Essentially, the polar opposite of the Anarchy Sisters, piss off and repent, versus be a good boy and go to hell. Also, they're high-class demon commanders. I forgot to tell you that. Right, back to why I like the Demon Sisters and shit. In all honesty, it's just nice to see the angels actually fight someone more, I guess, permanent. Not like a one-and-done type of thing with ghosts. Shit, man, the duels between the Anarchy and Demon Sister, god damn, dude. Pure eye candy with a bit of humor somewhere. I'd like to gush more about the animation, but I'll talk about that in a little bit. But let's just go back to Kneesocks, because goddamn, Kneesocks, my love. Holy shit, big thing. The big thing I like about her. Demon girl. You just gotta love demon girls, man. They're the best. They're the best. It just really sucks that you don't really see them in many other outfits, excluding season 2. At least with the first 3 episodes of season 2, I think Shieeeeet wore like, what, 5 different outfits? Excluding the cheerleader outfit from the intro, of course. Man, speaking about the second season, literally the 3rd episode has dropped for the 2nd season, and I do like the fact that, let's just say that there's development between Stocking and Scanty, and hopefully that's a step towards Scanty and Kneesocks episodes. I hope. Well, for a sure thing, like the chemistry between Panty and Stocking, the chemistry of Scanty and Kneesocks is just absolutely brilliant, hilarious. I might even say that I like it more between the Demon Sisters as opposed to the Anarchy Sisters. Probably is my preferential bias, but whatever. Now, on to Scanty. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I have that much words to praise her on. I mean, she's basically Panty. Of course she's Panty, but demonic. Apart from the fact that she is much more smarter than Panty in every other way. I mean, hell, when it comes to coming up with plans to take down the Anarchy Sisters, I'm pretty sure it's Scanty that does heavy lifting and scheming and stuff. About the scheming as well, most of the outfit diversity from the Demon Sisters actually come out through their plans. Their casual wear is basically just the school uniforms, nothing else. The exception of the beach episode, of course, but that should be expected. One thing I do like about the Demon Sisters as well as opposed to the Anarchy Sisters, the Demon Sisters just have that idyllic sibling connection. Not much squabbling with each other, nothing petty, as opposed to the Anarchy Sisters. You'll just hear the squabbling between them. No matter if it's major or minor. And don't take this the wrong way, I fucking love it. But, even as a single child, I have friends that have siblings, and I even play with them sometimes online. The voice chats can be funny sometimes, but they can get irritating real damn quick. One thing I can give the Anarchy Sisters though, they're not incestuous. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised. They're demons, they should have some sin. Deviating away from the Demon Sisters, we have Corset, the big bad. He is also the mayor of Daemon City. Of course, being the boss of Scanty and Kneesocks, he wants the gates of hell to spill onto Earth, and ultimately conquer Earth and Heaven. He truly is the most unashamedly evil character in the show. Aside from the fact that he wants to open the gates of hell, he does torture Scanty and Kneesocks nearly every time they fail. I'll just say it because why not? He is the counterpart of Garterbelt. I mean, they even both like bondage for some reason. Sidestepping that fact, Corset is just unapologetically evil, and I just love characters like that. Man, I fucking love Palpatine, for fuck's sake. Rounding off the characters for the demonic side is Fastener. Sad to say, he doesn't really get that much screen time in the first season, but at least in the second season, he does at least show up every once in a while. Hopefully he shows up more when we do see Fastener. He is either the show 4 for the Demon Sisters, or he's just kicking up Chuck's face, brains, guts, whatever. Just a cute little menace. Nothing really much to say about him. Now, after giving my 2 cents on every character in PSG, regardless of how simple or uninteresting they are, I just want to touch on the transformations. I know I talked about it a little bit, at least when I was talking about one of the angels. Man, in simplest terms, it is just absolute hype. The visuals, playing out as if in a strip club. I mean, it is satire, since magical girl transformations usually involve magical girl or girls getting naked. These scenes are also one of the scenes where you get to see the non-chibi versions of Scanty, Kneesocks, Panty Stocking, whatever. Yeah, I know there are some exceptions in this first season, though it's mainly just Panty that you see her in a more detailed art style. Even then, it's only in like 2 episodes, the Beehive episode and One Angry Ghost. It is a shame that we don't see Stocking in a more detailed style. Even then, even in the transformation sequence, god damn, she looks beautiful. This even applies to the Demon Sisters transformation. Very sexy, very beautiful in the transformation sequence, though, like with Stocking, you don't really see Scanty or Kneesocks in detail. Well, at least until season 2. Though it was just one shot of Scanty, it's better than nothing. The outfits as well. God, what they wear absolutely just compliments them. The Anarchy sisters with their white, skimpy skirt, bra top, and footwear that I would just describe as either Greek or Roman, as well as their angel wings and halo. Can't forget about the halo, though I'm pretty sure that the halo only appears during the transformation, not after it. It's still pretty nice to see. However, I still like the Demon Sister transformation outfits much better. Still skimpy. I believe they rock some leather skirts, a small black top of some kind, and finishing off with some heel boots. Now, I would say that there are some invisible things from the Anarchy's outfits. However, we only see the Demon Sisters with their school uniforms even after the transformation sequence, so I can't really say what's invisible and what's not. But if I were to guess, I'd reckon it would be the wings as well as the tail. Now, that's all well and good. However, there are 2 major things I still like about the transformations. One being the speeches.
Grant us power, earthly leaders and gatekeepers of hell. Guide us, makers of the underworld. We are high-class demon commanders.
Your ill will and loathsome impurity, and return you from whence you came. Repent, motherfuckers!
Sound like the proper commandments for each respective allegiance. Minor tidbits, but I do like the fact that the angels have a Pulp Fiction reference in their speech, and the demons, at least in the Japanese version, just states out Lord Satan. I think that's a nice hint. You don't really see that in the English dub. Now, the most compelling thing about the transformations, for me at least, is the music. For Panty and Stocking, Fly Away is what plays during their transformations, and for Scanty and Kneesocks, I think it's just called theme for Scanty Kneesocks, though probably you'll know it as I Want You. Both songs being created by Teddy Lloyd, they absolutely bump, man. You just gotta listen to it. Truly hype and really catchy. And in season 2, they actually mix both of these songs, and it sounds so damn good. It is just otherworldly, mercurial even, as in going from It's So Over to We're So Back. Some tidbits about the songs. For the angels, if you listen closely to the lyrics, it talks about one-night stands as well as yearning for that epic climax. As opposed to the demons theme, it's basically intimacy and loyalty. Overall, it's good and it fits with each pair's sisters' demeanors. Hell, the OST in general is at least very good. I don't like all the songs, at least very heavily, but I do like listening to them once they pop up in an episode. I won't list every song in the OST, but I will tell you all the producers of said OST. Taku Takahashi, Teddy Lloyd as I stated before, Amy B, Emily, Maria Issei, Oshina Anniversary, Deborah Zier, Jun Sasaki, Mitsunori Ikeda, and last of all, 𝐂𝐿𝐿𝐄𝐏𝐄𝐒. I think that's how you call it. Like I said earlier, they made a pretty good OST, but I have my favorites of course. Excluding the transformation songs, I've already praised them enough I believe, and my favorites have got to be Chocolat and Fallen Angel. It's just so heavenly, man. That also just happens to be the ending song for Panty and Stocking. I also do like for the fact that at the end of the series, it kind of ties into the fact that Panty, maybe even Stocking too, do want to become somewhat human. As I said, for the interpretation from the ending. If that's not how you interpret it, that's fine. That's just how I feel. I also do like D-Say to Rock, but I don't really hunt it down to listen to it. If I come by it, I come by it. Same thing applies to the other songs, or should I say the rest of the songs, like Dance Floor Orgy, Shranch Chase, or See Through. Nothing really personal to me, it's just serviceable. The last thing I want to touch on before I try to end off this video is just the art direction in this whole series. Or should I say art style? I don't know. Just the art in general, I just love it. But since I'm kind of inept in terms of art, and I want to finish this faster, I'll just do showing and not telling for this part. Yeah, they just get really creative in certain episodes, even in the OVAs. With all that being said and done, that's basically all my reasons of why I personally like Panty and Stocking. Many people can say that it's just surface level reasons, but it's the best that I can give, and I'm just starting out. It's a fair criticism if you do say that. That's fine. I just personally want to spread the gospel on Panty and Stocking, if you get what I mean. Whether it's to the new viewers to the series, or any old heads that watched it long ago but haven't again, I'm just making this video mainly for the fact that Season 2 is already out as a recording. 3 episodes have been released so far. Maybe even a 4th if I'm not fast enough for this particular video. If one is interested in watching either the first or second season, thankfully, the first season is on Crunchyroll. It is also on Amazon Prime. But the second season so far, just called New Panty and Stocking, is only on Prime, which kinda sucks. Not just because of exclusivity, but in terms of physical media, I don't think there's gonna be a Blu-ray released. Maybe after some pleading from the fans, especially in Japan, maybe Trigger will look into it, but who knows, honestly. But if you do want a Blu-ray of the first season, I know it's on the Crunchyroll store or any other Blu-ray store that you can find online. Heck, even eBay, Facebook Marketplace, or Depop, I'm pretty sure those are still going to be good places to get a PSG Blu-ray secondhand. They shouldn't be out of print, at least to my knowledge. The Blu-ray that I have, and more than likely others have, is the Essentials Edition. However, if you can't afford that, you don't need me to tell you, but the 7 Seas are out there. Of course, if you are gonna traverse those seas, be vigilant and just know that I don't condone that. Man, just looking back, it's crazy that when I first discovered this series, I was like, what, 11, 12, maybe even 13, 14, back in old YouTube, man. I found the series on YouTube. Definitely not the first, but definitely not the last either. However, sadly, you don't really come across that anymore. I mean, I come across old anime like Azumanga Daioh. Hell, I don't even see the old Hetalia playlists I watched anymore. Some old Top Gear playlists, yeah, and I know that's not anime, but still, things just aren't the same. You just gotta cherish those times, man. Other than that, Panty and Stocking, I just find it so funny. People compare it to Hell of a Boss, but the thing about Hell of a Boss is that Hell of a Boss, yeah, it has LGBT or whatever. That doesn't really matter, but what does matter is the fact that it takes itself very seriously. Unlike Panty Stocking, where it's not really that serious until the last 2 episodes. Even then, it's not best to take that serious. And like I said, with Has Been Hotel or Hell of a Boss, they want you to get a bit, how should I say it? Big brain moment. They want you to have the big brain when you're watching that show. Not with PSG. Anyways, hopefully y'all like this video. Of course, I would really appreciate any critiques, any comments about what you like, dislike, or any other comments that you have to say about me or how I made this video. As for the next video, I mean, I did go to the Club World Cup before. I might make a video on my journey through that. I might be at a PSG 24-25 US Champions League, maybe, or let me just do this. I also do want to get into some gaming stuff. I want to check out either Resident Evil, that's the Origins collection, Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, Okami HD, or Uncharted HD collection, or at least Uncharted Drake's Fortune. I want to go with one of those. You know, do something like just a Nitro Rat or some creator like that. I don't know. Also, just want to let y'all know this is from Crunchyroll store, so hey yo. Anyways, hope you like it. Criticize if you want to criticize, whatever. Bye. I have to go to school or some shit. Bye. Man, that took some time to finish and edit. Like what, almost a full month? I think I started this when the Club World Cup ended, so there's that. But yeah, appreciate y'all for watching. Subscribe if you want to see more. And yeah, I'm actually going underway to play Uncharted, so maybe the next video will be Uncharted, or it might be PSG. It depends on which one's simpler. Anyways, y'all have a good day.